about 1996, when I met Chris Smith, this gal that was living with Chuck. They lived upstairs in Vivian's house, which was his mom, which was next door to the house they bought. Steve, the guy that owned the house next to them, works for Dow Soap Company, and I guess he moved to New York just suddenly with his son. And then they gained, I guess, control of the house. Okay. So when first time I went there, I thought how strange it was that everything, he left everything. The kids' furniture upstairs, the kids' beds with the old 60s wallpaper with the little drummer people on and weird shit. So I just felt weird and I wanted out of there. I felt suffocated. So I left. And then me and Paul went back over there, like, I don't know, a month or so later. I was going to make tacos there. I was going to make food there, like bring a feast. And I walked in, and it's a big house. You walk in the front door, there's a foyer, then you walk to the living room, dining room, then the kitchen. And when I walked in the kitchen, his dad, Maury, was standing behind me, and this old guy had a joint in his hand. I didn't know who he was at first. He offered me, he's like, hey, you want to hit this? And when I turned around to look at him, I felt it from my feet go through my head. Just every bit of energy I had was just like it was just being sucked to the top of me. And I felt like I was being strangled, like I could not breathe. And I was like, we have to do this some other time. I'm sorry, I need to leave right now. I mean, right now. Paul's like, what's wrong? I'm like, get me out of here now. Even when we got out to the car, I didn't feel safe. So when we got down the block around the corner, I felt like I could breathe again. Okay, well, years later, me and Paul ended up splitting up. Me and Chuck got together. I lived at this other house, but when we got together, I moved with him into that same house that I was talking about. I believe the address is 2142 7th Avenue.
Is he puking?
No. And, listen.
Murphy.
Anyway, one night we're upstairs, a huge house, so we're upstairs, and we're laying in bed, and we'd be laying this way. So I'm like, look to my left, and there's a doorway, and I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, just be calm. I didn't freak out. I'm like, just be very calm. Turn over, look in the doorway, and tell me what you see. So Chuck looks over, and I said, what do you see? He goes, oh man. He said, I see a very large man with a dirty thermal shirt on and some overalls with no face. I'm like, yeah. And what I saw was the same thing, but the guy had absolutely no head. Overalls, dirty shirt, no head. So I panicked, freaked out, tried to get out of there, and I was just like in such a panic. I kept running into things, trying to get out the window, whatever. And that's what happened. And then, a few years later, when I got pregnant with Colton, found out after Colton was born, you could hear Colton laying in his crib, and he would be making these weird cooing noises like somebody was tickling him. It was just strange. And then come to find out, the house was really super old, and it was so huge. And there was a very huge lot next to it. And we found out that used to be a children's home for that they adopt, brought orphans there and adopted them out there. It was a children's home, and the house there used to be a big house like it in the lot next to it that burned to the ground. So yeah, creepy.
That's a lot.
There's more stories than that. The